So I just watched Space Jam: A New Legacy. This is gonna be a non-spoiler review. So yeah, let's get into it in the multiverse of movies. What is up, guys? My name is Isaac, and this is the multiverse of movies. Today we got a Space Jam non-spoiler review. And before we start off today's review, y'all make sure to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bells. That way you can be notified for future content here on the channel. Comment down below after the video. Do you agree, disagree, whatever it is? Let me know in the comment sections down below. Follow me on my social media platforms at Isaac the Film Geek. And yeah, let's get started. But anyways, Space Jam: A New Legacy is a brand new movie. I even got some pictures over there of Space Jam: A New Legacy because I've been excited for this movie because for like 10 years or more actually, I've been hearing that a Space Jam 2 is possible with LeBron James. And I'm like, finally, bring it to me. Bring it to me. I'm a big fan of the first Space Jam. Really liked Michael Jordan. So when I heard that Space Jam 2 was officially confirmed, I could not wait. When we first got the first announcements that it was gonna be called Space Jam: A New Legacy, I was like, really? All right. But overall, let me get into the good parts. Now, the best part of this movie to me was the Looney Tunes. I love Looney Tunes cartoons, so seeing them just having all this insane amount of fun was very enjoyable to me. I really loved seeing the Looney Tunes just going crazy, and that the interactions with LeBron James were funny to me. Just like in the Michael Jordan movies, well, not movies, but in the Michael Jordan version, how crazy and wild they were. And I really like that. And I really like how they did the animation and the CG. And I thought that was a pretty cool thing. When I first heard that they were going to be done CG, I was like, really? I don't know if that's a good idea. And then it looked pretty good. There were scenes where the CGI looked off. Like when Don Cheadle and LeBron in the trailer are interacting for the first time. Though the CGI isn't very precise, but let's get into the acting now. LeBron James, we all know he's not an actor; he's a basketball player, so it makes sense that he will be struggling. And there were moments in this movie he struggled. I do think he put out a better performance than Michael Jordan, but again, they're not actors, so that really is irrelevant. But to the movie, there are moments where LeBron's acting just is not very good. Like, there are moments where it feels like he's not really talking to the animation. Like, there's this scene when they go into the Matrix world, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because we already got this clip released, so I'm just gonna talk about it. I remember that scene felt awkward because LeBron's like, hey granny, like he sounds very casual. He sounds like he just read it off a script, and it sounded like not very organic. And I just didn't fall for LeBron's acting that much. There were moments where I'm like, all right, this is pretty good. And if he wants to quit basketball someday, which he won't because he's 36 and he's still at the top of his game. But if he does, like, let's say he retires in a few years, might as well get into some acting classes. Maybe get into Hollywood. That way you make a little more money. I mean, he's a rich millionaire, so it doesn't matter. But Don Cheadle was the best actor in this movie because Don Cheadle is very charismatic. I love him as an actor. I love him as a person. And in this movie, he did not disappoint. He was funny. He looked like he was having a lot of fun. And I feel like the minute they pitched him this idea, he was like, heck yeah, Space Jam. I get to have as much fun as I want. And Don Cheadle, man, I think he was just great in this project. No criticisms with John. In fact, I will say that Don Cheadle made LeBron James's acting a little bit like I could at least handle it. Like it felt like at least we had a good actor in the room. The other actors, like the kid actor, LeBron's son, he's decent. I think he acted better than LeBron, but I'm pretty sure because that kid does really want to be an actor, while LeBron's more just doing it in the side. The LeBron's wife in the movie, she was a decent actress. Really everyone was pretty good. The voice acting Zendaya did was actually pretty good. A lot of people were like, oh, she doesn't sound like Lola Bunny. And I'm like, you do know there's been two versions of Lola bunnies in history, and both of them have sounded very, very different from each other. From Space Jam and from that one Looney Tunes show, they both sounded insanely different to me. So to me, the voice was irrelevant. And I'm sorry. Look, I know this is outside of the review, but if you're mad that Lola Bunny isn't being sexualized in this movie, I'm sorry. Go see a psychiatrist. Go see a therapist. Because if you're fantasizing about an animated bunny in a kids movie, I don't know, man. Just go talk to some females. Get out of that basement for a while. Get out of that basement. That basement really isn't a very good place. But yeah, overall, like some of the comedy was pretty funny. I will admit there's quite a few jokes that I liked. But now let's get into the negative aspect. Now, I feel like I bashed too much LeBron in his acting, so I already got to that negative. The negative of this is I feel like they're trying way too much to reference Warner Bros. Movies. And when I've heard that they were going to go through the Warner Bros. Universe, I was like, all right. And a lot of people said this before, but I'll agree. It kind of feels like their version of Ralph Breaks the Internet. Like, I feel like Warner Bros. Saw that movie and they're like, oh my God, they got all this free promotion. It's like, can we do that? And I feel like that's what Warner Bros. Set out to do. Like, they were like, oh, let's show the kiddies what the cool stuff we got. Oh, we got Matrix. Oh, we got Batman. We got Superman. We have, what was it? Wait, there's a lot of franchises here that they had, and they overdid it. They did it to a point where I'm like, all right, guys, get out the way. I don't want the sponsorships. And it felt like Wreck-It Ralph, not Wreck-It Ralph. Ralph Breaks the Internet 2.0, but Warner Bros. Edition, and it felt like Warner Bros. Was like, all right, we gotta show the kiddies what we got. And they had a lot. They had the Hanna-Barbera cartoons. They had King Kong pop up, especially now because Kong is very popular right now amongst the general audiences. So I guess that was cool. You saw a lot of these projects that Warner Bros. Has done in the past, and it was pretty cool seeing them, but they did overdo it to a point where it just started getting frustrating. Like, I was like, take it down a notch, man. And some of the jokes were not very funny. Like, let me use one example. So this clip got released, and it was the scene where they're rapping. Probably wondering why they're rapping. I'll just let you watch the movie instead to know that. But there's a scene where they're rapping, and you know who they get to rap? Porky Pig, and we know Porky Pig is not a very good speaker. You know, he's like, that's cell phone. It's like, you know, he talks like that, and so they used the scene, and I feel like the only reason why they did this is so that they could make a Biggie Smalls reference, because they're like, all right, show them who you really are, Notorious P.I.G. And when I was watching the movie, I'm like, did they just use that joke to reference a icon? Like, I get it. Referencing pop culture stuff does make you look cool a lot of the times. But I felt like they only used that joke for that small reference. And I feel like throughout the movie, there were a lot of awkward jokes. And there was just a lot of them that just didn't work for me. There were a lot that I did like, but a lot of them just didn't work for me. But yeah, that's all the negative I gotta say. Overall, I thought the movie was fun, enjoyable. Now, I know the big question is this movie better than the original Michael Jordan version? And I wouldn't say better, I would say at the same level. Because I know a lot of people, when they saw the trailer for Space Jam 2, they're like, ooh, cash grab, oh my god. It's like, every movie in history is a cash grab, especially that first Space Jam. Like, that first Space Jam was just used to promote Jordans. Like, everyone, like, I kept seeing so many people being like, Space Jam 2 is a mindless cash grab. Well, the first Space Jam was this authentic, beautiful film made for the purpose of our entertainment. And I'm like, BS, man, BS. That first movie was done to promote Jordans, and you know it. You know it, man. And it annoyed me. It annoyed me seeing a lot of people saying that. I even had a close friend to me tell me that they didn't want to watch Space Jam 2 because it felt too much of a ripoff and felt too much of a cash grab. And I'm like, so you're telling me that first Space Jam is a cinematic masterpiece? Although I love that first Space Jam movie. I even have it back there in my collection, but I'll call it what it is. It's a cash grab. But then again, every movie made in history, whether it's The Godfather, Shawshank Redemption, Pulp Fiction, Avengers, whatever, these movies have been cash grabs for years. It's not like this is a new thing. You go ask any director, producer, or anyone in Hollywood, and they'll tell you that they're making the movies because of money. And money is important because it's a job, it's a business. Obviously, in a business, you're going to do things that make you the most money. But yeah, that's it for today's review. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good film. I thought it was fun. It was enjoyable. Is it a movie I can rewatch? Not really. It's more of a movie that I enjoy the first time. I eat some popcorn. And for the people who don't know this, the movie is available on HBO Max. HBO Max is like around $14 a month. But you can also go watch it in theaters if your theaters are open. Wherever they are, make sure you check on Fandango. Make sure if your theater is open or not, because I don't want to mislead you. But who do I recommend this movie to? I recommend it to basketball fans, fans of the first Space Jam, LeBron James fans, Looney Tunes fans. Let's say you're a parent and you have a kid who really likes basketball. I think he'll enjoy it. And actually, I would recommend highly to show him, because that first Space Jam movie did motivate a lot of kids that are now grown up now. If you go talk to most, like a lot of NBA players, they'll tell you how much they love that first Space Jam and how much it was motivational to them. And I feel like this new Space Jam, A New Legacy, could do that for the future generation. Did it do that to me? No, because I'm a fat Mexican who obviously shouldn't be playing basketball. I do play basketball occasionally, just for fun, though. I love basketball. I watch the NBA consistently. Obviously, no one is aware of that because this channel isn't NBA talk or anything. It's more movie talk. And also, it's actually interesting that this movie got released during the NBA Finals, like with the Suns and the Bucks. It's interesting, but yeah, those are the people who I recommend this movie to. Should you be expecting a cinematic masterpiece? No, but that first Space Jam movie wasn't a cinematic masterpiece either. I will say, I think if you're older, you're probably not going to enjoy it as much. Like, if you're expecting a Pulp Fiction level movie, that's probably not it. But if you're in there just to see some silly slapstick humor, hey, works for me. It works for me. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bells. Comment down below after the video. Follow me on my social media platforms at Isaac the Film Geek. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.